Good evening, everyone here and at home. We will begin our Board of Commissioner regular meeting April 16th, 2026 at 7:15 p.m. Ms. Jones, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Roberts.
Present.
Commissioner Hall.
Present.
Commissioner Buffalini.
Present.
Vice Mayor McDonald.
Present.
Mayor Anderson.
Present. Item number 3 is prayer and pledge. Dear Lord, we just want to thank you for all the cleanup efforts that have been done in the last couple weeks. We're getting our city cleaned up, and I know our citizens are glad about that. Please be with each and every one of us with the weather that has begun to come through our city right now. Just keep us safe, Lord. Please be with the Green family in the loss of a great man to this community, Bobby Green, yesterday. We just want you to please hold them tight in your arms and just comfort and care for that family as they go through, and this whole city as we deal with the loss of such a great man that's meant so much to our community. Be with each and every one of us. Please help us to make really good decisions. Help us to listen to you, and please guide and direct us as we make the decisions for our citizens in this community. In Christ's name, amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 4 is Mayor's comments. I just thank everyone for being here tonight, here and at home. Please stay safe, and thank you for Officer Martin being here tonight to watch over us while speaking in citizens' comments. Please be courteous and considerate, and with that, we will move on to number 5, citizens' comments.
We have one tonight, Mayor Karen Cobb.
Hello. On?
I think so.
Okay, all right. Karen Cobb, 7802 Willow Crest. First of all, I want to say forgive me for continuing and being persistent regarding the issue of our prior city manager, Tom Dougherty. I've been, and we as a city have been patiently awaiting the resignation of McDonald, Buffalini, and Roberts. I once again ask for your resignation, but this time I think we should have a clear timeline since you continually want to disregard. So I think that as you gave him 2 days, so we have till Friday before a little bit more stronger actions will be taken, not only by myself but other citizens. So if it's not submitted, there will be several of us who will be filing complaints and starting several open issues for the Fairview public to be aware of. The reason for asking for your resignation, to clarify, for anyone who doesn't know these issues are things that have become an issue or that have been now brought to attention is Tennessee commissioners must adhere to mandatory ethics standards, which includes transparency, conflict of interest, and abiding by public records open meeting laws, such as we all have been speaking, breaking of the Sunshine Law as given by Janet Gatewood. Along with the Sunshine Law is also the Tennessee Public Records Act, the Tennessee Open Meeting Act. In early 2026, several transparency initiatives became active, such as the TVA, Tennessee Valley Authority Transparency Act, plus the Regulatory Freedom Act of 2026. There's the Misconduct, 18 U.S.C. 1519, the FOIA Freedom Act, Freedom of Information Act, just to name a few that seem to be the area that we have had so much interest in lately, and some of the board for their understanding. Regarding Tom Dougherty, you guys were aware and are accessories after the fact. So you are liable and you're liable to the same standards in which you held him to, which is resignation. So Buffalini has a conflict of interest with his wife running for court clerk. How much power should one family have? Plus, he would not be able to do his job. Buffalini would not be able to be voting on anything with financial issues, other than being an extreme conflict of interest in so many ways, which I don't have time to get into all of them. It's amazing how he would vote to remove our city manager for a family conflict, yet he thinks it's okay for his family to do the same thing. It's completely hypocritical. So, I bring this all up because I think I don't, and most people.
Ma'am, I'm going to interrupt you. I want to be respectful of your time, but what you're saying about Mr. Buffalini's wife running for an elected office,
Yes.
being unethical, is completely wrong. And I'm not going to sit here and listen to your misunderstanding and misapplication of the law.
Of two
I've looked
of
into
two
it. I've called
offices?
them tasks, and I've issued an opinion, and there's no legal or ethical issue with that. And I'm wondering where we are in the 3 minutes.
May I continue,
Miss-
since there's nobody else on the list?
That's up to the board. So each speaker, we have 5 speakers and they're allowed 3 minutes apiece, and that's our standing rule. If you would like to waive our standing rule and allow this citizen to use essentially 12 more minutes, that's up to the board. That's not my say one way or another. It would require the board to waive the rules that we typically use for our meetings. So if there's a motion and a second and you vote and you decide to allow 12 minutes or however long she wants to speak, that's up to the board, not me. I'm not in charge of that. But that's our standard procedure.
So, I guess there's asked to be a motion to waive the rules so she can take all 5 slots. I can tell by the way the board's looking at me, that's probably not a good idea.
Okay. So can I regain my time from when he stopped?
I believe the 3 minutes is up.
Was the 3 minutes up?
Yes.
I have no idea. I don't have a timer sitting in front of me.
Yes,
Okay. All right. Thank you.
thanks. And there are no other citizens' comments, right? Okay. Okay, so before we approve the agenda, Fire Chief Hughes has asked that we add to the agenda, which would be item 11D, resolution, you should have it in front of you, 25-26, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Fairview, Tennessee, authorizing the mayor to execute a consent release and indemnity agreement with S&W Fairview Partners for firefighter training purposes. So I just need a motion.
Motion to approve
Okay.
the addition of Resolution 25-26.
Second.
And we will add that to 11D. Ms. Jones? Just on the amendment, we'll vote on that, adding it.
Vice Mayor McDonald,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner Roberts,
Aye.
Commissioner Buffalini,
Aye.
Mayor Anderson.
Aye. Okay, so the amendment, as I said, will be added to 11D, new business. And then, so item number 6, approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Jones?
Commissioner Roberts,
Aye.
Commissioner Buffalini,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McDonald,
Aye.
Mayor Anderson.
Aye. Item number 6 passes 5-0. Item number 7, public announcements, awards, and recognition. A is city events, and that will be presented to us by Mr. Ethan Greer.
Good evening, Board. Our next city event that we have coming up is May 2nd. It is the Arts and Crafts Fair. It is still on schedule to be at Bowie Nature Park. We currently have approximately 60 vendors. We are also still accepting sponsorships for the July 3rd event. And if someone would like to be a sponsor, they can call City Hall at 615-799-2484 and speak with Richard Ross. We also have several events coming up. Movie night at Bowie Park on May 16th, and our fishing rodeo will be on June 6th at Veterans Park prior to our July 3rd event. That is all I have for tonight, Mayor.
Mayor, I have a question.
Commissioner Hall?
At the Friends meeting Saturday morning, there was interest in proceeding with the arts and crafts in the Bowie Park. Is there an update whether they can or cannot?
As of this time, our expectation will be to have the Arts and Crafts Festival at Bowie Nature Park.
Okay. Miss Mary, can you pass that along? Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Item number 8, staff comments and monthly reports. Item A is Police Department report. Detective Reed.
Good to see you all. Okay, starting out, our overtime comparison. For last year in January, overtime was 0. This year was 2.5. For February last year, 22 hours. This year, 48.5. For March, last year, 9 hours. And for this year, 7.5. Next. Our training hours comparison, January of last year, we had 254 hours of training. This year, 179. For February, 366. This year, 292. March, last year, 554. And March of this year, 464. Next. Our arrests, the comparison for January is 66 last year, 61 this year. For February, 74. This year, 66. In March, we had 70 arrests last year. This year, we had 79. Next. Citation comparison. January last year, 151 citations. This year, 60. February, 109 of last year. 75 this year. For March last year, 102 citations. And this year, 31. Next. Our accidents comparison. For January, we had 19 accidents last year. In January, 16 this year. For February, we had 9 last year, 12 this year. In March, 24 last year, 19 this year, and we had no fatalities for the first quarter. Next. Our calls for service, January stayed about the same with 1,130 of last year. In January, this year was 1,108. February, last year, 1,125 calls for service. And this year, 833. In March, we had 1,191. Last year, this year, 861. Next. We have nothing to report for public relations other than a reminder that we're doing Shop with a Cop July 3rd. So if you are wanting to donate to Shop with a Cop, just remember that our biggest event is for July 3rd. And additionally, Nate, we like to call him Nate, Nathaniel Coleman, he graduated the academy and he is on his shift. So come by and say hello to him. That's all I have. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item B, Fire Department report. Chief Hughes.
Mayor, Commissioners, this is the Fire Department report for the first quarter of 2026. We ran a total of 542 emergency calls. These are calls that came through the 911 service and we were dispatched to. During the first quarter, fires extinguished, one vehicle fire, a grass or brush fire, and the 4 of them were in the county, 1 in the city. We had 1 structure fire inside the city limits, and we had 3 that we responded to outside the city limits to help the county out. We had 203 overlapping calls during this time. Average response time was 9 minutes and 58 seconds, and the average call duration was 24 minutes. Some of that has to do with those fires. When we're on structure fires, we're going to be there longer on scene. Again, to report emergency, please call 911 first. We are still getting calls at the station for 911 calls. Then we have to tell them to hang up and dial 911, which slows our response time down. Next slide. First quarter call breakdown. Again, most of our calls are going to be medical-based and rescue-based. The breakdown is following national averages for us. Next slide. This is our heat map for the first quarter. You see a lot of extra dots on there. Some of that had to do with ice storm that we were running calls to. And then, again, those hot areas are still the same areas that show up in red yearly. Next slide. These are just some pictures from the ice storm, some of the things we dealt with, some of the damages at the station. Station 2 out on 96 took the brunt of the damage. We had a little bit of damage at the main station, but the second station out on 96 took a lot of damage. Luckily, most of it was covered by insurance. Next slide. First quarter fire prevention, our fire marshal had 33 life and safety inspections. Minor corrective actions or notices were issued. We did 52 pre-plans through my office and the fire marshal's office. Or the pre-plans he does put in our software, and then 17 pre-fire plan reviews and updates. Those are the subdivisions, commercial buildings and stuff that come through our office that we have to sign off on before they can get under construction or being occupied. We had 1 fire investigation. That was the structure fire that was inside the city limits. We're responsible for that. We had 8 smoke alarms installed. If any of the citizens in Fairview need smoke detectors in their house, please call the station. We'll get that set up. We'll come out and install those for you. Next slide. First quarter training hours, we did 1,665 hours in the first quarter of training. We had some live fire training earlier this month. It's not on this, but we had extrication training, some engine op training, and a few other group trainings that drive that number up. Next slide. First quarter happenings, we just had various fleet repairs from the ice storm and the response, the ladder testing for the whole fleet. That's the ladder truck, and all the ladders that we carry on all the trucks have to be tested yearly by an outside company. And then the wards and accommodations for our department that happened earlier this year for last year. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 8C is finance report. Mr. Knox?
Good evening, guys. For this one, I spent last weekend getting everything reconciled, and I did not have a super long amount of time to prepare anything. I gave y'all what we have been giving. I will get with y'all before next time on what you would like to see for the finance report. Right now, I've got account balances. The second 2 sheets are financial statements, and then the specific expense statement for the BOC. I'm happy to find out what that is, if you would like to see a difference in that. But for this one, I just gave what has been given in the past. And if you have any questions on that, I'm happy to answer that too. Bree, that was for the next one, sorry. I didn't mean to put that up there for this one. It was for the, I can look and see what the actual number is. Hang on. That's for 11C. Sorry, thank you, though.
Any questions from the board? Thank you, Mr. Knox. Item 8D, Economic Development Report. Ms. Patty Carroll.
Good evening. I'm just going to start off and do a few highlights that we have. Obviously, in the last report and for the last couple of times, I've been mentioning a headquarters that is with the state. It is called Project Home, and that is the name that it was given. They are doing their due diligence right now, and they're working with TDOT. We have hopes of this project coming on the Planning Commission in May. It has the opportunity to bring 50 jobs plus to the community, and it's really an exciting project. Also, I'm still working with the restaurant group that's trying to find property. We may have had some luck today. I didn't add anything special on there, but also, as y'all know, it's not big news in the city of Fairview, but we have 2 headquarters, our healthcare groups wanting to come to our community. So you've heard me talk about a lot the healthcare group I was working on, but we got a nice surprise. So Ascension St. Thomas is going to do a campus in the area with a freestanding ER and have partnered with Dixon Medical, and their intent is to bring specialty doctors, which will be great. I know y'all know this, but I'm doing it just as much for the public too. And then we had 10 days later, TriStar wishing to come into the area also, which this is a good problem to have. We got 2 people want to provide health care to our community. So I mentioned this just to let you know that Wednesday, May 27th at 9 o'clock at Cordell Hall, Legislative Building, the Health Facility Commission will meet, and they have to get a certificate of need. Now, that may change, but for right now, that's the process that they have to go to. So anybody is welcome to attend. I encourage any board members that would like to come, any community members. They are out canvassing our community, and they are wanting us to all agree that, yes, we need health care. So if you're interested in knowing more about that, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will give you the details. Also, just following back to some questions that were asked last time, as you know, we applied for the Therafair grant, and we did not receive it. There was a large number of applicants that applied this year, and they pretty much said, try again next year. So it is typically something that we could go for each year. So we'll, watch for that to drop again and resubmit for that. Also, just wanted to highlight, I know there was some questions about where we were on the lighting grant, and basically when I talked to TDOT, they said it is the funding is approved, and they are working to contract a consultant. The scope has been provided under review, and it will just, take a little bit longer before they can actually give us a time frame. But she told me we were moving forward, so that's good. I went ahead and continued to put the graphics on here because I think it gives you a scope where we are in the budget just as well. So one thing I did want to point out is our building permits. We're 95% down from last year, this quarter. So that's a large amount, and I talked to Ethan, it it really could be Fern, basically. We're comparing to last quarter, so the ice storm, people weren't out there, they weren't starting new projects, but it is a large difference. So I did want to point that out. Then property sales tax, we are actually up from the quarter this year compared to last year, 13.56%, and then sales tax, we're up 2.48. So with that being said, we go this is from July to March, and we are only 8% down on the property tax. So it's leveling itself out, but we still are down. Property tax, we're up 7.88%, and basically for sales tax, we're 1.32%. So the year-to-date figures, kind of show us where we are in the budget, and that will help us only plan for next year. A lot of things are going to vary from quarter to quarter, and so as we go through, I'm up with my 5 minutes, but as we go through, it'll level itself out. But it was something to note that was a large difference for that quarter. So anyway, with that, if there's any other questions, if not, I want to mention one thing I'm going to go over, sorry. Forgive me. I also gave the commissioners a first kind of look of Invest Fairview. That was something that was laid out in my goals for the year. And then when we were talking about Fern, and we realized that the $2.7 million cost was coming on us, I thought this was a great time to start this project. So we're actually going to do our first Invest Fairview project. It's going to be at Camp Marymount on May 15th. It's a Friday night, 6:30. It's going to be a fundraiser. Hope to have a live or an auction, and then music, dinner. Just invite people to our community, give people an opportunity to gather and recognize what's good about Fairview. Commissioner Roberts even mentioned that maybe it'd be a great time to recognize some people that, really did some great work and volunteered. So I think it's just going to be a great event. And so I will start releasing some of this, but I just gave you all the first look and want you to just know that it'll be May 15th, 6:30, Camp Marymount. And so I'm happy to answer any questions as we move forward.
Could you give that date again on the hospital association?
It is actually the April 27th, and they don't give you a certain time, but the hearing starts at 9 o'clock. So we don't know yet. Now, they may give an agenda time eventually. You can see the agenda. We might be able to tell. But right now, it's just 9 o'clock is all I know.
So it's in April?
It's in April. Oh, no,
May.
May. Did I
That's in
say
May, yeah.
April?
Okay, yeah, I was thinking it was May.
Yeah.
April is the One Church Home event,
Okay.
yeah.
I apologize if that, it was April, so that, I have it right in the report. Okay, May 27th, 9 a.m. Thank you for correcting that.
No, you said it right to begin with, I think, anyway.
And Mayor, I don't
I just
know,
missed it.
what is the date? Do you know the Ascension? Does any of y'all?
That's April 27th.
Okay, April.
Yeah,
tw-
April
Okay.
27th from 5:30 to 7:30.
So if you're not following one of
PM.
these websites, both TriStart and Ascension are regularly hosting events, kind of meet and greet. So I encourage any of the citizens that are interested in meeting them or asking questions to come, so.
And it's, what time in the morning on the May 27th?
9 o'clock,
Okay. And it's held at where?
Cordell Hall.
Okay.
It's right by the Capitol, across from the bus depot in that same area. But, and if people can't come and they want to write letters, Both TriStar and Ascension are welcoming any letters, so citizens are welcome to do that too. And I'm sure they've hit all of you up for support. By writing one letter versus another, really this hearing is to provide that A, Fairview wants healthcare in their community, and it's to just show the need. So that's why they've been rallying, trying to get people to support them.
Mayor,
Questions from the board? Commissioner Hall?
Ms. Carroll, possibly Ben might need to get in on this question that I'm fixing to ask. One thing that hit my thought process a while ago was a special census. Do you know when we had our last one? Was it back when I was city manager?
That's the last one, yeah. We haven't done one since. And there was a change in the state law where it does, and I can look into, Patrick may have a better answer. I think they're going to update where every so many years they take in consideration growth. Am I right on that? There's a bill that passed last year.
So they would project it themselves rather than us having a special census. So we wouldn't have to go through the expense and all the work that goes into it.
Commissioner Hall, the state will be estimating populations and population growth for all municipalities across the state. This begins in July of this year. And then they will be allocating the state shared tax dollars back to the cities based on population estimates.
There's some funding that we hope to get. Thanks for that information. Thanks.
Yeah, it'll help, I think. And this is just the first project with Invest Fairview. I could see us doing some great things towards capital projects. And so just keep that in mind. Like, we could do something in the park. We could partner with groups like the Friends of the Park on projects. And I would really like a community citizens to kind of do a panel or board or, a group. So that's something that we'll be talking about and presenting eventually. I would love the citizens' input too. But right now, Fern is such a big chunk to tackle, and so I thought this would be helpful, and we can kind of get our feet wet with it and just love on each other in the community and come together, so.
Thank you. Item number 9, consent agenda A. A, minutes from April 2nd, 2026 BOC work session. B, minutes from April 2nd, 2026 BOC regular meeting. C, minutes from April 8th, 2026 BOC special meeting. Resolution 20-26. A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an amendment to the interlocal agreement between Williamson County, Tennessee, and the City of Fairview, Tennessee, for cooperation in the provision of a healthcare clinic.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Jones?
Vice Mayor McDonald,
Aye.
Commissioner Buffalini,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner Roberts.
Aye.
Mayor Anderson.
Aye. Item 9, A, B, C, and D pass 5-0. Item 10, old business. 10A, Resolution 18-26, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Fairview, Tennessee, designating an interim city manager pursuant to Tennessee Code annotated 6-21-107B and 6-20205A, defining the scope of authority, duties, and compensation in the interim city manager and directing the initiation of a search for permanent city manager. I make a motion to hire Mayor Bob Ryle as our interim city manager for the city of Fairview, Tennessee.
Second.
And that would be Resolution 1826A, I believe? B. So the board knows I had Ms. Jones and I, today, we worked together to create two versions of the same resolution, 1A and 1B, to make it a little bit easier. That includes things such as pay and other matters. So the mayor, I assume, because you, the Dixon mayor, you are 1826B is your,
Yes, B.
the resolution we're working on.
And we have a second
Okay.
with Mr. Hall, Commissioner Hall, sorry. Discussion from the board.
Mayor?
Vice Mayor McDonald.
Mr. Carter, do we need to, I know I asked you a question prior to the meeting. Do we need to discuss that at this point? I don't want to waste everyone's time if it's not necessary.
So I think that the particular question the commissioner had asked is because the mayor still has some duties in Dixon. At first, he'd be able to put in 25 or so hours and won't quite be full-time. And so the way the resolution is currently written, it states a monthly salary that is the same salary that the former city administrator was making. So the question is, do we need to prorate it for the number of hours he will work until he's full-time? So if he's working 25 hours, then he'd be paid the prorated version or prorated amount of the 40-hour work week, which is 13,100, I believe. Yeah, 13,100. So if we want to prorate it for the hours he works while he's part-time, we would just need to amend the resolution to provide for that until he reaches the threshold of being a full-time employee.
Here,
Commissioner Roberts.
thank you. This is just because we had two people come for a 6 o'clock work session and speak with us, and they made the trip, and they spoke with all of us, and they gave a lot of time. That for the sake of discussion, I want to first acknowledge that I'm grateful that they are interested in coming to the city and addressing the issues, no matter how the vote goes on this motion in particular. I'm deeply appreciative of that and appreciative of the time the staff spent speaking with both of them, and then answering my calls to just know what they thought about it. And I just want to punctuate this by saying how fortunate we are to have two great candidates that could come in and help, and that the staff would have the confidence of both of them.
I'd like to make a motion to amend Resolution 18-26B to state that the compensation will be prorated based on the availability of the interim.
Second. Anything else? Ms. Jones? We will vote on the motion as amended.
Amend it first. So we need to vote on the amendment.
Okay, we'll vote on the amendment first.
Then we'll be back to the full resolution.
Okay.
Vice Mayor McDonald,
Aye.
Mayor Anderson,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner Roberts,
Aye.
Commissioner Buffalini,
Aye.
The amendment passes 5-0. Now to the original motion. Ms. Jones?
Mayor Anderson,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner Buffalini,
Aye.
Commissioner Roberts,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McDonald,
Aye.
Item 10A passes 5-0. Item 11, new business. 11A, Resolution 19-26, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Fairview, Tennessee, establishing a code of conduct and governance guidelines for members of the board under the City Manager Commission Charter. Our city attorney will speak on that.
I've had several of you reach out to me over the past several months with different specific concerns, but the general concern is that there's been times when some of you have felt others have overreached, and that's been kind of a shared sentiment by different members. And so while we're embarking on this interim time, I think it's particularly important for the board to double down and make sure that we have good procedure and that the city's employees know who they're answering to, and that is whoever's in the city administrator's seat. That's their employer and the one that is their leader on a day-to-day basis. While most of the calls that you might make to various employees are well-intentioned, oftentimes the employees are getting multiple calls about the same issue, and it takes an awful lot of time, which inhibits their ability to actually do their job. And so the way it's supposed to work when it's functional and we have a strong city administrator, a good leader, those calls are supposed to be made or emails made to the city administrator, and then he's to get the report and then have the report circulated to all of you so you're all receiving the same information and have the same ability to discuss it. Because Tennessee has such a strong open meetings law, you can't be talking, and can't have interim meetings, and that doesn't occur. But it doesn't facilitate having really good information unless you're getting it at the same time from the city administrator. And so that's all this resolution's intending to do, is make sure that we're clear on our process and clean up some of the loose ends and hopefully eliminate any feelings of animosity between any and all of you, and make sure that we're all getting the information in a way that's consistent, effective, timely, that the city administrator is empowered and knows that he is the leader of these men and women that work for the city. So that's what the resolution's intended to do. It's a very succinct statement of the law in Tennessee code that's applicable to cities like ours, meaning city manager, board of commissioners type of government.
Does that include any of the board's communication with you? Should it go through the city administrator first?
No, because even though I'm often referred to as staff, I'm kind of a slightly different kind of staff, because the Board of Commissioners has two employees. You have the city administrator and you have myself. In other types of government, you might also have a judge, but in Fairview, Fairview is one of four cities in Tennessee that have a local general sessions court. So we all know Fairview special. That's another way Fairview is special. So you have two employees, and I report directly to you, and the city administrator reports directly to you. So you're welcome to call me or email me, and for purposes of this legislation, I'm a different type of staff.
And I'm not discouraging any of the board reaching out to you. I just want, under the times that we're in, trying to navigate the storm and the finances, I just really think it's important for everybody to think about the amount that it costs when we engage with you and just keep it direct and to the point.
Absolutely. It's important to be cost-effective and be aware that all of these things have a cost. Having these meetings has a cost. Having conferences has a cost. Bringing people in or engaging experts has a cost. And so I think it's important to keep that in mind. And I can tell you that I think you're all very respectful of my time and of the cost to the city. I've never that's not what this is. This is not me saying, hey, you're not being respectful or any of you are doing wrong. That's not at all what it's about. It's just to make sure that we're all on the same page in trying to move forward in a very transparent, time and money effective way, and to empower the city administrator to really take that CEO role of the city and lead the city, because he's really the day-to-day leader of the city. And it's important that we recognize that and empower that person and not have them feel like they're, that people are going around them to talk directly to staff. And that allows staff to really focus and do their job and really maximize their hours spent at the city doing the real hard work and providing that to the city administrator and ultimately you at these meetings.
And just a little bit of clarity. So if I need to speak with, I'm just trying to understand everything, okay? If I need to speak with Ethan about a project that's going on, I need to go through our city administrator first?
I think it would be best probably to send the city administrator an email, and you can copy Ethan, and the city administrator may go, yes, please get that to the mayor, or hey, I want to talk to you first because I want to see what you've done. Because he's responsible for example, if we're talking about Ethan, the city administrator is directly responsible for Ethan's work. So if Ethan's work is great, then the city administrator, that's reflected on the city administrator, and he looks good because of Ethan's work. If Ethan's work is terrible, then that reflects badly on the city administrator. So when it's working functionally, the city administrator is working with Ethan, reviewing his work, signing off on it ultimately before it reaches you. And so, Mayor, when I see that work most effectively, the communications to the city administrator and maybe copy to Ethan so he knows the questions coming, or but generally that direct contact is I wouldn't say frowned upon, and there's some instances where it's necessary, but it works best when Ethan's working closely with his direct superior, which is the city administrator. And I would say that for all staff that works for the city administrator.
So we, as a board, individually should not contact any of the city employees without going through the city administrator?
I would say that's generally true, unless there's just some legitimate need or emergency, or the information's needed immediately. And it's hard for me to think of what those circumstances are. And that's why it's really important. I was asked before the meeting, do we need to vote on a city administrator tonight? And my response was, it's your decision. You don't have to, but there's no one in the driver's seat right now. And I can tell you from my perspective, there was just an issue today with some property owners in the city here that are arguing over an easement and the PUDE and a fence. I mean, it involves, various departments in the city. I don't have anyone to answer that question or order something to be done until we have a city administrator. We need that, and now we've hired one, so that will help. But
and Mayor Ryle said he can start at 8 a.m. in the morning.
Absolutely. So which is
he's ready to go.
Invaluable, and we absolutely need to have that. Does that answer your question?
Well, I guess I'm just going to have to do things differently because, I want to do it right, and I just want to be clear on what you're asking. But I talk to Ethan weekly, several times a week, about different things for the Planning Commission. So I want to do it correctly. If I need to go through Mayor Ryle before I talk to Ethan, then I just want to make sure that I am understanding that I can't go straight to Ethan.
And
because I typically do that. So if I'm not supposed to do it that way, then I hear you.
So, and what I would say about that is Mr. Doherty was accepting of that, okay? He didn't have to be as accepting or compliant of that. He was. I don't think that's probably the best way to manage my staff, is when the staff is confused about who they're responding to directly. I think sometimes that caused the former city administrator some heartburn and some difficulty because it caused a little bit of confusion. Mayor, that's not any,
Oh,
I'm not.
and I just want to be clear. I
Yeah.
don't go to Mr. Greer
Oh,
to
yeah.
tell him what to do. I go to Mr. Greer for
Absolutely.
questions to be answered about development,
And all
different
of you
things
did
for the
that,
meeting.
because Mr.
So,
Doherty he was permissive of that contact. There's other cities where the city administrator is uncomfortable with it, and none of that contact occurs. So the point I was going to get to is a lot of that will depend on the new city administrator's management style and what he's comfortable with. And I just at least want to start out at the beginning where there's a clear flow chart of a clear command structure, and where city staff knows that they're looking at him, and then he's looking at you, and you're looking at him, for the city staff to do their job, and I think we will feel out over time what his comfort level is with the direct contact, and when it's okay and when it's not. Again, the point of the resolution tonight is just to establish a clear protocol and kind of get us all, between the rails to begin with. And then I think we'll feel it out with the new city administrator, what he's comfortable with, Mayor. And so I'm not saying that it won't change over time or that, we'll figure out where he's comfortable and what's needed. But I think at least for right now, starting from ground zero, the resolution's the best place to start.
Commissioner Roberts.
Two things. Do we have a motion on the floor yet? No, I just don't. We don't. So can we do a motion and then I've got a question?
Yes.
Okay, so motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. And thank you. Mr. Carter, just a close reading of this, I just want to make abundantly clear, the Board of Commissioners is all five of us, the three commissioners, vice mayor, and mayor. So in any of these bullets where it says individual commissioners, it doesn't have to delineate specific titles. It's just the BOC as a whole, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Ms. Jones?
Commissioner Roberts,
Aye.
Commissioner Buffalini,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McDonald,
Aye.
Mayor Anderson.
Aye. Item 11A passes 5-0. Item 11B, Resolution 22-26, a resolution to adopt the Williamson County Safety Action Plan and commitment to seek funding for safety and mobility infrastructure projects. Mr. Greer.
Thank you, Board. Over the last about year and a half, the city has engaged with Williamson County to create the Williamson County Safety Action Plan. As you have read through it, it is a full document. The county got a grant for Safe Streets for All. It's a federal grant program that they received, and they included all the municipalities in Williamson County except for Franklin in this document. Franklin performed their own due to their large population. And throughout the document, there are opportunities that they addressed our high injury network and areas where most of our accidents happen. They have put in quite a bit of research throughout this document and have offered some solutions that may benefit our community through with cost estimates for those. Most of these items that they have identified are along Highway 100, so that obviously would take the city and the state working together to implement the solutions. Tonight, what's before you is to adopt the Williamson County Safety Action Plan. Every municipality that has been involved and the county all have a similar resolution that has gone through their boards. We're either the second to last or the last board to be adopting this document. And just due to our timeliness over the last few weeks of what's been going on. It has slid down to this point. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. We're also planning to schedule a work session in the future with the AECom, Brian Hill, who was the lead project manager on this document, to come in and speak to all of you about future grant opportunities that this action plan can help us apply for, and what kind of opportunities we can seek in the future to implement the recommendations that are within it.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion from the board? Ms. Jones?
Vice Mayor McDonald,
Aye.
Commissioner Roberts,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner Buffalini,
Aye.
Mayor Anderson.
Aye. Item 11B passes 5-0. Item 11C, Resolution 26-25, a resolution authorizing the issuance of FEMA tax and revenue anticipation notes of the City of Fairview, Tennessee, in a principal amount of not to exceed $2,750,000 and no cents, making provision for the issuance, sale, and payment of said notes, establishing the terms of thereof, and the disposition of proceeds therefrom.
Moved.
Second.
I do want to say that I've been keeping in close contact with Kevin and Misty with the monitoring service, and they are very encouraged that the cubic yards will not be what we thought they were going to be, since we made the decision to not go back over streets that have already been picked up. So that's good news. Our money to be borrowed should be quite a bit less. We'll see when everything's done. The park is coming along very well. I've ridden through the park several times since they started the process. There were some limbs that were brought to the main streets that are up near the front of the park in the public area. Those will be and have been mostly removed and will be removed around the playground, the nature center, and that whole area where we have like our May event and Nature Fest. So that will clean up that whole area, plus the leaners and widowmakers. Keith has been and Bree have been very closely monitoring with the group of how to move forward and answering questions on different issues. There were some that were very high up in the air, and they made decisions on how to drop and leave those in areas that are wooded that won't interfere with the trails. So I believe the process is going very well. It's looking great. The park should not take that much longer. I have asked, or I will ask, we use our digital sign for like the Easter egg hunt. So I'm kind of hoping that as soon as the park is open, that we can use that digital sign for maybe a week or so to let people know, put it at the beginning of at the entrance to the park, to let people know that the park is back open. So I just am very encouraged that it's not going to be much longer before it's all finished. And they've done a great job, and it's looking, the city as well as the park is looking really good, and just excited that it's going to more than likely, what I've been told, come under the cubic yards to make that financial piece of it not as much as we thought it would be.
Mayor.
Commissioner Roberts.
Thank you. Just to punctuate that, we will still have the same level of borrowing, it would still be $2.75 million. What will happen if it comes in less? We had a nice conversation with Mr. Knox and John Warner from Cumberland Securities. What will happen is the unused proceeds can go back and reduce the interest that we owe. So initially, just in case anyone is wondering, it'll still be the same amount that we initially borrow. And then the unused proceeds will go back into it. Just, I didn't want anyone to be alarmed thinking that we missed it if it comes in less, but that is something optimistically to hope for. And we did have a nice conversation about it. I appreciate the charts and the graphs and the explanation that we had. And some of the graphs might be a little jarring to look at them. For instance, the bar chart where the debt jumps in 2029. But that's just the 36 months when it's due that should track at the same time as we get the FEMA relief. And then if there is anything of concern at that point, there are measures that can be put in place. So I'm saying all of this to hopefully clarify what can be kind of a confusing thing, and also to say that I was very comforted by the conversation with John Warner and Ben Knox in knowing that the city can handle what we're taking on, and that there is a plan, and that we're not just here alone absorbing something that we can't absorb. So it was, last week when we had the conversation and we didn't know the terms and conditions, we now have them, and it's great to know that we can manage that, and that we will have that 75% coming back through within 36 months, or there are other avenues, but the city will be okay.
Anyone else? Ms. Jones?
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner Roberts,
Aye.
Commissioner Buffalini,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McDonald,
Aye.
Mayor Anderson,
Aye. Item 11C passes 5-0. 11D, Resolution 25-26, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Fairview, Tennessee, authorizing the mayor to execute a consent, release, and indemnity agreement with S&W Fairview Partners for firefighter training purposes. Chief Hughes, would you like to explain to the board what this is all about?
Yes, I apologize for this showing up on your agenda late, but we had been working with a property owner that has a house set for demolition. They had offered it to the fire department to initially burn, but we didn't, the time frame was too constrained. We couldn't get it through EPA and all that, but they said that they would still allow us to train in the structure. We couldn't push this to the next board meeting because their demolition time frame was going to be outside of that. We wouldn't have had time to for you guys to consider it, but we'll do a week long of training evolutions at this acquired structure. Our training officer has set up several scenarios for the crews. They'll go out there and gives us another structure to train in. We will not have live fire, but we will do some training scenarios in it that would be structure fire training scenarios just without the live fire. Just gives us another opportunity and a different look. The container, the training tower that we have, everything's set up the same every time, so we don't have movable props in it that much, so having a house is a great benefit to us.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any questions from the board?
Can I just say just one thing, Mayor?
Yes.
This opportunity came because a demolition permit was submitted to the city. So if anyone out there who wants to demolish a structure, we would definitely encourage you to reach out to the fire department as well and offer that structure as a training opportunity for them.
Ms. Jones?
Vice Mayor McDonald,
Aye.
Commissioner Buffalini,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner Roberts,
Aye.
Mayor Anderson.
Aye. Thank you. Item 11D passes 5-0. Item number 12, roundtable, Mayor and Commissioners. Commissioner Buffalini.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Board. Thank you to our city attorney for that resolution. That is, that's a great addition to our city resolution, so thank you very much for taking the time to put that together. I do want to offer my condolences to the Green family. Bobby Green, I had the pleasure of knowing him for a couple of years now when my son played on the football team, and I can't say enough about that individual, that man, and his family have given a lot to behind the scenes to Fairview Athletics, so I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart, and I think the city needs to thank them as well for everything that that whole family has done for Fairview and athletics as well. Congratulations, Nate Coleman. Welcome to the Fairview Police Department as a police officer now, not just a cadet or anything prior to that. The ER facility that are hopefully coming here, April 27th, 5:30 to 7:30, One Church Home. It's going to be Ascension. St. Thomas is sponsoring it, and it's going to be catered by Uncle Lenny's Country Cafe. So everyone is welcome to attend that, and it's greatly urged to come speak to them. They'll show you renderings, drawings of what the location is going to look like. I think it's going to be a great event to attend. Also, I posted on Facebook earlier in the week that FEMA is also assisting individuals, so homeowners, if you had any issues, you could work with your insurance company, disasterassistance.gov, and you can apply for assistance from FEMA as an independent, as an individual homeowner, not just a business owner, or through the city as well. So take advantage of that if you've been out of work or anything happened during a storm that they can assist with, then just take advantage of it. Do it. We urge you to do that. That's all I have to say, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Roberts.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for being here and for listening this evening. It's nice to have the cleanup happening around the city. It's nice to have a plan. It's great to think that the park will be open again very soon. And I really commend Ms. Carroll for the Fairview Invest idea, or Invest Fairview idea, and the pulling together of the community to help with recovery from the winter storm. I hope that generates a lot of interest, and I hope that we can all come together under one common purpose to continue that, and maybe we're starting something good out of something that on its face wasn't so great. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Hall.
Thank you, Mayor, Board. First off, I want to thank the Bobby Green family. My love and prayers go out to them. They're a very special family to me. Was neighbors for a long time. But anyway, this is heartbreaking for me. My next thing is I always thank the city employees and all their hard work. But tonight, I want to thank them in a different way. During the ice storm and the absence of a city manager for a couple of weeks now, they've all pulled together and done such a fantastic job. And I think the work that they possibly all done possibly saved us money from having to maybe not borrow so much. The work that the park staff had done over there, I rode through the park with Sergeant Hill the other day, and he would point out where that they had pushed the debris up to one area where it'd be easier for the people that were picking it up. And I know that the public works crew did it, but you also had the police department was out there directing traffic when the first ice storm, when everything was in the road, and how much of a problem that was. I know the fire department was out there helping out, and all the staff was helping everything they could do to help mitigate the ice storm. And I just think it was an entire staff all the way through that helped mitigate the overall charge that we, not charge, but the amount that we had to borrow. Can't put a dollar and cent on it, but I'm sure that it was saving us a lot of money. The next thing I'd like to report on is the tour through the park with Sergeant Hill. A couple of concerns with the Friends was the damage to the roof at the picnic pavilion. There is a hole in it about a foot round, was splintered plywood, so looks like that corner has to be replaced, and hopefully we can find the shingles to go back on there without having to, do a whole roof assessment. The next thing is Mr. Powers had donated a bench to the Stark family many years ago. It looks like it's just deteriorated through the years. We don't see any particular storm damage. It doesn't look like any limbs hit it or anything, so I think the park staff is going to try to restore it to a certain extent. But other than that, the bench looks in good shape. That's all I have tonight. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
You. Vice Mayor McDonald.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. I just wanted to say thanks again, echo what Commissioner Roberts said earlier about both applicants taking their time out of their day to come and meet with us. Not only the phone calls that we all had with them, I know I spoke with each of them for over an hour, so they gave me more time than I expected, which I was very appreciative of. And then them to come here tonight, I think it was great to have the opportunity that we had to choose from. It was, it's encouraging. To staff, to echo what Mr. Hall said, the department heads within the city have been amazing over the last couple weeks. It's, we're found ourselves in the situation we find ourselves in, and they all stepped up and did a great job managing their departments and keeping things going, and just, being witness to it. And I just wanted to make sure that that's stated, that it's seen and appreciated, and we're grateful for the leadership that we have in this community. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you to both of the candidates for coming out tonight and considering Fairview to be someplace they would like to serve with this in this community. I've known both of them, but I've known Mayor Bob Ryle for over 10 years, and I just have to say what a quality individual he is. And I knew that he was retiring, had no idea that he would be a consideration, but wow, I can't tell you how excited and the wealth of knowledge in budgeting, staff, community, I mean, top notch. So this is a very exciting time for us to see what he can do. I'm very encouraged by that. Congratulations to Nate Coleman for graduating the academy. I did want to mention that I've had a lot of citizens reach out and a little confused sometimes about, the cleanup. Even though we're not going over streets that have already been picked up again, we do have our Public Works chipper service that is continuing with their work in our city. So just if you don't know the parameters of what you can put out at the curb, just get on our City of Fairview website, and it details the cubic and feet and all of that. But if you have more debris, you can put it to the curb, and our chipper service will be doing their route. So I've had a lot of questions about that. See. And I'm going to echo what others have said. Thank you to the staff. You've had to pick up the ball and run with it and be over your departments and be, doing things that just coming together as a staff to keep things running around here. And we appreciate everything you've done. I've known Bobby and Tammy Green for a long time, and Bobby's one of these people that he's a man of little words, and he's very, very humble. But this man has given to this community for decades. And people may know Tammy from all of her work in the financial banking, and retired a few years back from First Bank. That family is just top notch. And Nathan and Nick, their sons, my heart goes out to Tammy and the boys. Nick worked with us in our public works department for a while, and he's now with the county, with Williamson County. That family is just, they mean so much to Fairview. And if anybody goes out to the baseball field, you'll notice that the flag is at half-staff. That's in honor of Bobby Green. We used to call it back in the day the CRA, which is known now as the Fairview Rec Association. Back in the day when it was the CRA, Bobby ran the CRA for many, many years, and just was a great asset to that program. He gives, he doesn't, you would never even know all that he gives to our community and to our young athletes, because he never said anything about everything he's done, because he's just humble, and he didn't want any accolades for that. But, you know, he's given a lot of money to the Fairview High School athletic program, all the different sports. Last October, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame for his contributions that he's given to the program. So I was really glad that he was able to be inducted anyway, before this happened. So my heart goes out to Tammy and Nick and Nathan and all of their family, and the Liberty Hill Church of Christ family, where they've attended for so long. I know that they're all hurting right now. I do have a little story. So Bobby's a fisherman. It's crappie season right now, and I'm really going to miss this because his crappie, he would catch them, and he would dress them, and he would, I don't know, I hope somebody got his recipe, because it's the best crappie I've ever had. And he would, you know, give it to people in the community, and I was delighted to be able to get some last year, and it was just amazing. So every time I think of that, I think of him, and, you know, I just know that this community is, you know, feeling such a loss right now. But I just pray for his family, and just think of them. So anyway, let's keep Fairview beautiful and pick up trash and not throw out. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Before you do that, I want to say something
Sure.
before she pounds the gavel. Did anyone take a look at how beautiful Fairview looked this evening, from the cutting of the median, the clover leaf, the front yard out here, the one on the left, all the way out to Historical Village? Tonight was a beautiful night here in Fairview, and that goes along with your keeping Fairview clean. Tonight was a beautiful night to come into Fairview. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.